And that was a euphoric season, Rodney. You were a big part of it.
Yes. When you go back and look at it, you can make all the money playing in the CFL. And what I remember about the CFL is the friendship that we have, the camaraderie. Like last year, we had a 20-year Grey Cup reunion, and you had probably about 70% participation. Guys come back and participated in the reunion, which is a good feeling. Everybody's doing well, looks good.
In the short yardage situation with Jackson picking up the first down. Dontrell Inman hurt in the previous play and did go off, but this Argo drive does continue. And we got a ball game here now. Hamilton now just 3 points behind. Good memories of a rivalry with the Ticats?
Absolutely. When you play Hamilton, it always goes down to the fourth quarter, probably about the last couple of series in the ball game. So sometimes I always used to say, let's just put 2 minutes on the clock and let's just get it over.
You had a chance to address the Argonaut football team yesterday after practice. What was the message that you sent to them?
Well, the message that I sent to them, it's a long season, and you guys got to be gelling at the end of the season, going into the playoffs. Just get into the playoffs and then play your best games at the end of the season where you can get into the playoffs, because it's a different game after that.
And you singled out, I thought you singled out the Canadians on the roster as well and singled them out as the importance of them stepping up.
Well, I felt like when we had our teams that our Canadians had the swagger. They came out, they were competitive, and we expected them to perform. They just wasn't on the roster. That's what makes a good quality CFL team with Canadian players.
Absolutely.
And second and long here. Argonauts for Kenyon Rambo inside the 5. And the Argos will have first and goal.
That's that veteran receiver they've inserted in the lineup the last couple of weeks. Only 2 catches for 16 yards last week. But Kenyon Rambo turning back the clock, showing you his jets that he once had when he was a Calgary Stampeder before all those knee surgeries started happening. And here he gets behind the defender and Ray puts it on the money. And he almost takes it to the house.
Biggest play for Kenyon Rambo since becoming a Toronto Argonaut. Gets it down inside the 2 to about the 1-yard line. So Toronto looking to answer right back after that good drive after the interception by the Ticats. Jarius Jackson is in at quarterback in that short yardage situation. First and goal. And a flag is out. Right with the snap of the football.
Either that's an illegal substitution or that's just lining up off sides. We've got a good look of it right there. Don Cousins officiating, number 35 right there, the head linesman, officiating in his 251st game.
Offside. Hamilton, number 9. Move the ball to the 1-yard line. It's first and 10.
And his foot is just lined up in the neutral zone. That looks like Ray Williams up top there. And that's just a mental mistake there. Really doesn't hurt the football team other than the fact if you stopped him, instead of being second down, it's repeat first down, basically.
We'll try it again. First and goal. Jackson. Keeper again. This time he is in. Touchdown, Toronto.
Well, that was tight. If he got over just by a little bit. Well, that was tight. But what an answer score for the Toronto Argonauts. You know, when it seemed effortless for the Ticats offense to go down a football field in no time whatsoever, Toronto answers with a big touchdown of their own.
Right back down the field with that big play to Rambo to set it up.
Rodney, you've been in those situations before.
Yes, what you want to do as a defensive lineman, you want to get under the offensive lineman and try to get penetration in the backfield and make a big pile.
So Wilbur to convert, one of the great all-time Argos, confirmed again today finally. Rodney Harding, congratulations on a great career in the CFL. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Rodney Harding. More offense in the second half. A touchdown by Samuel Giguère for the Ticats, followed by a 2-point convert that made it a 3-point game. And then the Argos drive right back down the field, and Jarius Jackson, a 1-yard plunge to take it in as the Argos expand their lead yet again, this time to 10 points. So Wilbur to kick it off for Toronto. Things were starting to look a lot better for Burris in that Tiger Cat offense when they really needed it. Rutley on the return, and a hard hit on him by Walter Spencer up across the 25.
Yeah, and Hamilton needed to get out of the gate quick in the second half, and they certainly did. And all started with a little play there by Campbell, batting the ball up, D-Webb picking it off, and then Stella nice catch down the rail, then up the seam, Jaguar with a pretty pass from Burris. And then the two-point convert, excellent release by Chris Williams, turned Evan McCullough completely around, did a 360. Burris puts a little slant on the money. They convert on the two-point. Toronto goes right back down and answers the score with the score.
So first down, Ticats up across their 25. Looking to build on the momentum they established offensively, and they do it back on the ground with Avon Coburn. Good day of rushing for Coburn, and he gets 10 more yards there for a first down.
Well, I liked how he stretched it to his left and then saw a hole and planted his left foot in the ground. Little jump cut, and then bang, he hit the hole and went straight up the football field. Watch him move here. He's going to pull to his left. Bang, offensive line getting out. Bang, sees it, steps in there, exploits it, runs right past the arm tackle Armstead, and moves the chains.
9 carries, 85 yards for Coburn. Burris to pass. Off to the right. An open receiver coming back. It's Williams near first down yardage again, up near the 48.
Yeah, Henry Burris, you know, he's got such a strong arm. We talk about it a lot over the course of his career, and he's thrilled us with some great throws, particularly one from last week. But here, watch him, flat-footed, just slips it out there about 40 yards. Williams comes back to it, but oftentimes those are throws that we see going the other way, and Henry gets away with it there, throwing flat-footed with the strong arm.
Second and very short. Burris throwing anyway and getting the first down, but the ball is coughed up, and the Argos have it. Jordan Younger with it. And what a break for Toronto.
Henry's thinking it's an incomplete pass. Little quick slant to Williams. Watch him get his arm up high. Sticks it right in there. It looks like he put the ball away, had an athletic move, moved up the football field, and a good tackle here by Evan McCullough. I don't know if it's ever secure, though, looking at that angle. Did you see that, Rod?
Well, George Cortez has thrown the challenge flag. And
what did you just say? George Cortez actually threw a challenge flag?
And has it picked up now.
This is good.
But that, of course, taking a lot of heat for a game in Montreal where he should have challenged one in Weston Dressler back in week 1.
Absolutely.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling of a catch on the play. We'll review it.
I don't know.
That angle looks like he has it, but there's another angle from the reverse side. The other side, if we can get that, it looks like it's bobbling in the air. Actually, he actually tries to cradle it. The other look is better for us, but that one there looks like a catch. That's bang, bang, isn't it? Very quick. I trust Glenn Johnson doing his 380th game. He'll get on the headsets and listen from the command center, and they're making a ruling right now as we take a look at all these different angles. Got some beautiful shots for you, too. Evan McCullough right on it.
Well, there's 3:29 to go until the end of the third quarter. Talk about the importance of a review right now on this, because the Ticats are moving. This would be an Argo turnover. Their ball near midfield.
After review, the player had the ball long enough to determine it was a catch prior to fumbling the ball. Ruling on the field stands.
So it is a Younger fumble recovery and Argo football at their 52 with a 10-point lead.
People who strive for active lives are making the right move.
Viewed it, and they decided that Chris Williams had the ball long enough, so Jordan Younger, who picked it up, got it out of bounds with a big turnover. Hamilton with their second turnover, Toronto with one turnover, and that puts them up around midfield.
Jordan Younger, defensive team captain, coming up big for the Argos there.
One of the few still around from their Grey Cup team of 2004 on first down. Chad Cackert, but yet Jeff Johnson, one of the other ones, but one of the leaders on this team. His first year, played all 18 games in the regular season. Jordan Younger got a Grey Cup ring out of it.
Rambo's getting on him too. A couple veteran ball players having a good time enjoying their profession.
And their team enjoying a 10-point lead right now, just as Hamilton's offense has really been waking up in this second half. Be interesting to see how they respond when they do get the ball back. It's Ray on second down and long, and Cackert again. First down, Argos inside the Ticat 40.
Yes, I mean, I watch Ray go through the progressions here. He goes right through 3 or 4 progressions. You can actually watch his eyes go through them, and then he finds Cackert because he knows that time is of an essence, and it comes right back down. Chad Cackert sitting over the middle makes a couple people miss, as he does when he catches the football, and moves the chains.
And limping again. This is the second time today he is headed off with a limp. Jeff Johnson in the game. 14 touches, 100 yards rushing, and 67 yards receiving, and a touchdown for Cackert. Wide open, off to the right. It's Bradwell. Mike Bradwell with his second catch of the game and gets it down to the 30, and a first down, Toronto.
Yeah, they go 3 wide here, and it's really simple to read as far as Ricky Ray. It's cut coverage, as you can see. Watch him come up. He goes deep. Bradwell's going to find the spot right underneath. Ricky Ray sees it. Watch this develop. Watch how this goes. Bang. He goes over the top. Bradwell finds a soft zone underneath. Picks up an easy first down. Nice pitch and catch by the Argonauts.
Product of McMaster University. Bradwell. Ray steps in, end zone, look! Oh my goodness! Dontrell Inman, who was hurt earlier in this game, got in, and just as he was trying to catch the ball, he hit the post and is slow to get up, understandably. Looked like it could have been a touchdown for the Argos. It's like the 13th defender there for Hamilton.
Oh, that one hurt up here, Rod. Thank goodness for the Bet365.net padding right there, because that could have been very, very dangerous for Dontrell Inman. Right here. Wow. That doesn't give much. I hope he's all right.
Well, thankfully he is up and still in the game and flanking out wide to the right on a second down now. Could have been 6 more on the board for the Argos. That close for Inman. This one is batted away. Falls down. Jamal Johnson in there, and Brock Campbell as well, putting some pressure on Ricky Ray.
Another look at it, Rod. Oh, he just face plants it. He kissed that thing on the other side and ends up over here. His face hit it on one side, and he ends up over on the other side. Well, I don't know how he bounced back from that. I think it was the padding around the base of the post that helped him out. Certainly saved him from severe injury. But that was a nice play off defensively from him. And Ticats, Rod, batting that ball down, forcing his field goal.
Field goal attempt by Wilbur is wide again. He missed a 32-yarder before at the end of the half. He misses this one as well. Chad Cackert, the game changer on the field for the Toronto Argonauts early in this game, and off the field, here's your game changer, McKenna Modler. She was nominated to be a Scotiabank game changer for her work and with McKenna's Dream, University Hospitals Kingston Foundation. Back in November 5th, 2010, McKenna, who comes from Lansdowne, Ontario, was diagnosed with cancer. She has since had 70 chemotherapy treatments to help control the brain tumor that she lives with today. She was inspired to help other children who are faced or will be faced with this challenge, and she initiated, along with her parents, a huge fundraiser called McKenna's Dream. And to date, McKenna Modler has raised over $100,000 in support of the Children's Cancer Fund. The great Scotiabank game changer, McKenna Modler of Lansdowne, Ontario.
Inspirational she is, Rod. McKenna is a fighter. She's helping so many others that are battling cancer. She looks like $1 million. She looks healthier than ever, but that girl has been through a lot, and she knows the pains of people that are suffering. She stepped up to the plate. She's a great choice for our game changer.
Absolutely, and we wish her well in her battle and applaud her for everything she has done to raise the money to fight cancer. Henry Burris now passing, and Bakari Grant cannot hang on again. And that's right at the end of the third quarter.
And Henry, you watch Henry deliver this football, he's getting hit in the mouth. Bakari puts it on the ground the other end. That's not a way to finish off the third quarter for the Ticats.
28-17 after 3 for the Argos. Third quarter stats in a game, Matt, in that third quarter that saw a couple of momentum changes.
Yeah, it did. You know, I was impressed the way Hamilton fought back, Toronto fought back after Hamilton scored in a 5-play drive. Receivers looked like they got the handle on it, but again here late in the third quarter, they really had a tough time hanging on to the football. And Bakari Grant's nightmarish football game continues as he's got 4 drops in this game. His quarterback's taking some hits as he's delivering the football, and they're really not repaying him with catching on the other end.
And yet you have a couple of field goal tries by the Argos. They could have had a greater lead just outside the 30, and you can't fault Wilbur, I guess. I mean, it's the chemistry, right, when they come in just the night before.
Absolutely, and that's what Mike O'Shea talks about. That's what Scott Mlinovich, head coach for the Argonauts, talks about. He says, you know, we're just going to roll with them. We have confidence in them, but that battery of center, our snapper, holder, and the kicker, it's got to take more time. In fairness, folks, if you're just watching, Wilbur was signed last night. His only reps that we've seen with this particular unit has been here in pre-warm-ups, and of course the field goal attempts he's had in the ball game. That's not enough in order to get to the exactness that you need in order to be successful consistently.
And yet, if Hamilton can get their offense going again and make it a tight game, who knows? It could come down to something like that. It did on Monday for Swayze Waters, who was hurt, and that's why he can't play in this one.
And if he puts one wide again, you know who's receiving on the other end, Chris Williams, and we know what he can do.
Done it before. 28-17, an 11-point lead restored now after the single. Heading into the fourth quarter for the Argos, and a flag, a late one, comes out as Rambukamba pushes Chad Owens out after a first down Toronto.
Yeah, this will be interesting to whether or not it's going to be on Owens. It looks like they're going to call him Rambukamba for his left hand goes on the face mask of Owens late.
Major foul, face mask. Hamilton, number 32. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
They do indeed.
And he catches him. It's just for a brief moment. Left hand snap right there. It's on the face mask. The official sees it. Flags out at this point. Pretty good battle right there.
Getting his first start on the corner for the Ticats in Labor Day Monday. Chris Rambukamba, Ricky Ray on first down. Inman has it and goes head over heels when he meets up with Matt Buckner. But another first down Toronto.
He's running a lot of traffic in the middle of the football field, whether it's in the end zone hitting goalposts or defenders in the middle of the field. Dontrell Inman is having a very physical football game. He's getting a little breather as Rambo checks in. Well, this could have gotten ugly in a hurry. Right on the top of his neck he lands, and that's probably why he's going off, feeling the ill effects of that.
Tough day at the office for Inman, whether he's running into those in black, gold, and white, or in the padding of green and gold and white, as he did in the end zone earlier. First down, though. Sticks keep moving. Toronto. Hackett, busy day. A little busier, too, and takes a pop. And good yardage again on first down inside the 25.
And, you know, ever since the get-go, ever since the beginning of this football game, watching Hackett scramble, I think it was for 43 yards untouched in the end zone, I thought that he was not playing at 100%, which a lot of the ball players out here aren't. But he struggled through it, and he's continuing to be productive every time he gets a football. Huge offensive weapon for Ray and company today.
Argo defense, or Ticat defense, I should say, really needs a hold now. They're getting close to red zone time, and that's where the Argos have actually struggled. They haven't scored a touchdown when they're within the red zone. Close to it now. This one, an end zone look. as they were just outside the 20, but it falls incomplete. And a flag is down back in the Argo backfield.
It looked like a bust as far as their execution and receiving the routes that were run, because you had two receivers in the same area at the same time, brought in more traffic into the vicinity of the football.
Major foul, roughing the passer, Hamilton, number 93. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, that'll get them solidly in the red zone now, down to the 11 for the Argos after another roughing the passer call.
Yeah, Ronell Brown, first-year player from James Madison. Little roughing on Ray.
And it's Ronell Brown who is still down after that, got the penalty, and is still yet to get up after just catching Ray after he had thrown the ball.
Yeah, maybe not a lot of sacks for the Ticats, but they've been getting to Ray quite often with Hurry's hits and a few sacks along the way. Ricky's going to be in a nice cold whirlpool no matter what happens in this outcome of this football game. But this Ticat defense needs a big stop right here.
Mid-season for the CFL and the NFL is back, and NFL Sunday Night Football kicks off on TSN this week. It's tomorrow. Peyton Manning takes to the field in his first regular season game as a Denver Bronco. The strange sight that is. At home, the Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town in Denver. Coverage getting underway. That's tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN and TSN Radio. Peyton Manning is a Bronco. What do you think?
We're gonna see whether or not he's all right or not up against that Steelers defense and Dick LeBeau. Boy, that's a big test out of the gate.
Sure is. After a full year away, Peyton Manning. See that on TSN tomorrow. Here's Packard on the toss, inside the 10-5, leaping and waiting for a signal. Not quite inside the 1.
Tight, right?
And it looks like it'll be first and goal at the very least. The ball spotted around the 11. It looked like he might have been able to get in. Let's have a